And this looks like a wonderful place where you could have someone telling a story. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and just talk about my first full-length novel, Dan Tesson, for a few minutes. So, Dan Tesson is my first full-length novel. It took me over 20 years to write. I was working for a defense contractor at the time that I came up with the story. And believe it or not, the main character works at a defense contractor. What the premise of the book was is I was disturbed at the time thinking about all the things that were going on in the world. This was the early 2000s, post 9/11. I was thinking about all the things that were going on in the world that I didn't like, that I didn't think were right, that weren't fair. And I wish that there was something that I could do about it. And I came up with this character, and I'd always heard that that power corrupts, and that ultimate power corrupts ultimately. And I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if we had a person, or in this case a character, who had the ultimate power, who was omnipotent, could do anything that they wanted, and let them explore what it means to be human. What would you do if you woke up one morning and you had as much power as there was, that you could create or destroy or change things any way that you wanted? What would you do? What would you think you should do? And those are kind of some of the questions that the main character, who's Dan Tesson, that Dan asks in this novel. Terrible things happen to Dan, and Dan has to deal with them, has to decide how he's going to deal with them and what he's going to do. I am so excited about the story. As I said, it took me 20 years to write. I spent a lot of time thinking about what possible things would you do, and how would you deal with it, and how would the character deal with being kind of thrust into this problem of having this power, and one, deciding if he was obliged to do anything with it, and then if he did choose a course of action, what would that course of action be? How would he go about trying to make the world a better place? I think the book is not a guidebook. It doesn't tell you the answer. It doesn't tell you, here's what you should do. It's an exploration. It's a conversation. It's thought-provoking and disturbing on many levels. I really hope that you'll take some time to read the book, and hopefully at some point in time, maybe at a book signing or something, we can sit down and have a conversation about some of the themes in the book. That's what I really hope will happen with this book. Is I would like to be part of these conversations, but if you talk to your neighbor, you talk to your family, talk to whoever it is that you want to talk to, your best friend, about some of the issues in the book, I think the world will be a better place.